The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of wet earth and decay. Master Tuai, his weathered saffron robes stained with jungle grime, led the way. Novice Pong followed, clutching his clawed umbrella like a shield against the oppressive darkness of the Laotian canopy. They walked toward a vague dread, trekking deeper into the heart of the Shadowlands. Days later, they found respite in a small, isolated village, clinging to the edge of the jungle. A local man, Baun, met them, his eyes wide with suspicion and sorrow. "Sirs," Boone whispered, "if it is shelter you seek, you must go to the temple. But know this, it sits beside the old graveyard, and it is cursed. It has been empty since the horror." The old temple leaned precariously, its wooden stilts swallowed by gloom. It smelled of mildew and stale incense. As night fell, Master Tuai and Pong prepared their meager bedding beneath the main hall. An unnerving silence blanketed the village, broken only by the distant, silent sentinel of the graveyard stones. Just past midnight, the silence shattered. A rattling sound, deep and metallic, scraped against the quiet. Then, a sudden, frantic rustling erupted from the massive kapok tree that stood yardside, a tree whose leaves were completely still moments before. Master Tuai sat up, his face etched with worry. "Pong, listen." The sound intensified. Thump, thump, thump. It was the giant ceremonial drum, swinging back and forth, hitting the support columns with furious, rhythmic force. Novice Pong took his small candle and crept out. The light barely pushed back the gloom beneath the stilted floorboards. He knew he should flee, but something held him there, transfixed by the horror above. Pong lifted his gaze to the dark space where the drum hung. The candle flame trembled, revealing her, Mei Kaio. She hung suspended from the central beam, upside down, her impossibly long black hair trailing on the dusty floor. Her face was a horrifying mask of decay, eyes bulging, covered in weeping sores. A high-pitched, wet cackle filled the space, a sound like shattered glass dragged over silk. Then the tongue lashed out, impossibly fast, nearly touching the novice's face. Terror seized Pong utterly. He dropped the candle, which immediately guttered out, plunging the scene into absolute blackness. He collapsed, unconscious. The horror burned into his mind. Boone and the villagers found Pong at dawn, babbling incoherently. Master Tuai listened, his face impassive but pale. Boone began the tragic history. She was Mei Kaio. Beautiful, pregnant, her lover, Sorn, promised marriage, then abandoned her for the city. Heartbroken and shamed, she tied the rope herself, right in that kapok tree. She died alone. Her funeral pyre was prepared in the graveyard, a necessary rite, but the fire was monstrous, higher and hotter than any should be. Sorn returned too late. He stood nearby, watching the flames devour his great sin, weeping the bitter tears of remorse and regret. He knew he was the cause of her despair. The fire spat and roared, consuming the last vestiges of Mei Kaio's earthly shell. Sorn lowered his head in silent prayer for her soul, praying for forgiveness he knew he did not deserve. The heat was unbearable, the light blinding. Then the sound changed, not crackling wood, but a thick, wet whack. Before Sorn could even register the impossible sight, the charred limb seized his ankle with unbelievable searing strength. Sorn screamed, a sound that cut through the roaring fire as the hand pulled him inexorably towards the heat. He clawed at the air, his face twisted in terminal terror, dragging himself towards the source of his doom. The jungle reclaimed its silence. When Master Tuai and Novice Pong left the cursed village, they did not look back. They continued their trek, the weight of Mei Kaio's vengeance and Sorn's final, futile scream traveling with them. Some curses, they learned, could not be broken by prayer, only witnessed. They walked, forever haunted by the taste of ash and the smell of fear.